Now, a lot have been said around adoption of technology in the human resource process. So you're a small business owner or you're an HR professional within a small organization or an established organization. The choice of an HR software is very critical because adopting HR software would help you to ease a lot of manual time on the manual HR function, and that can free up some time for strategic workforce planning. So in order for you to choose a software, question that comes to your mind is that what are the factors that are critical that I must consider in the choice of an HR software? So welcome to today's episode of HR Insight, where I simplify human resource concept. Today, I'm going to be looking at how to choose an HR software. What are the various factors that are critical that you must consider? These factors will be in form of bullet points or things to think around and things to really consider deeply. And I'll be breaking them into three parts. One is the why, two is the what, and three is the how. Today's episode of HR Insight is sponsored by our friends from Seamless HR, the all-in-one HR software to streamline your human resources needs. Check them out at seamlesshr.com. Why do you need an HR software? You need to do a deep data gathering within your organization. You need to understand, are you within a startup, a small and medium enterprise, or an established organization? Because the needs for each of this category of businesses is completely different. You need to get that right. Then start with you answering the question, why? Why do we need it? What are the HR functions that we need to automate? What are the various considering pending need for an HR software today? For you, you may just need a payroll system or something that helps you to put your HR data in place. The very first factor is the why. Then you can move on to the what. What do you need in an HR software? So in an earlier episode where I did an introduction to HR software, we're able to come to an understanding that HR softwares can either be standalone modules or comprehensive modules. Comprehensive modules that are integrated, that covers the entire lifestyle of the employee, starting from hiring down to the point of exit. So you need to realize which one is more important to us. Do we need a standalone HR model, or do we need an integrated HR model? Do we need a HR software that would be on-premise, meaning it's going to need its own dedicated servers and the rest, or we would make do with something that is cloud-based, that is as a software as a service? Also, depending on the demographics of your employee, the ease of access of the software is also critical. You need an HR software that will most likely be mobile enabled, where on the go there can be approvals that can be done. So in that situation, a cloud-based software becomes easier, meaning with an internet-enabled device, you can easily make certain approvals without waiting to get to the office. Unlike when you have an on-premise software that is a bit restrictive in its operation. Then you need to look at the ease of integration with your current system. So for most organizations that currently have ERPs running, or an accounting software that needs to integrate with their payroll software, you need to know what technology is the software running on. You need to know how easy will the software we're trying to implement, or we're trying to buy, or trying to integrate into our HR system would integrate with the other areas of technology within the organization. That talks about the ease of integration or implementation, or the ability for it to merge with what is currently obtainable. So you need to know the what. Are you looking at a custom built HR software or an off-the-shelf software? Meaning custom built means from the ground up, everything is developed to meet your need. Or you're looking at something that you can buy off the shelf and do some customization. There are both pros and cons to that. Also, you need to look at the ease of use in terms of the user interface. How easy will this software be easy for the HR professionals within the organization to operate it? Will it be easy for employees on the employee self-service point? There are some parts of the software that the employees would need to make requests on the go. The ease of use is very critical. Then the question around data security and data compliance. I want to believe you would want to pick an HR software that the level of data security and level of data compliance is very high. You would not want to have an HR software that every now and then you can have issues with hacking or data breach. What is the level of reporting or analytics that is embedded in that software? Now, each of this what you're looking for would help you when you now get to the how stage of choosing the software. The how stage is when you now need to do a lot of vendor selection. Now, with you deciding what you're looking for, it becomes easy when you now start to send out a request for proposal, where you're now starting to contact software vendors and you're now saying, what do you have to offer? So at that stage, you have already done your research. You've already done most of what you need to do. And at that point, you already have a checklist. So when you're talking to the how, when you're dealing with each of the vendors, you are asking question, is this software standalone or cloud-based? So you are ticking. Is it on-premise? What's the level of data security or data compliance this software? So you are already ticking. So what's the ease of implementation? Implementation in the sense that this software will need to integrate with our own enterprise software or in-house software that we currently use across the entire business. At that point, you already have a checklist that you can now start to tick and say, oh, I think this software meets what we're looking for. You look at the ease of access, you look at the user interface, because that's also very critical. If this is a software that will be managing the entire HR process, the user interface must be top notch. It must be easy to use. Then you need to do demos. No. You cannot accept an HR software without doing the demo, a walkthrough, or a trial period where you'll be able to know what the capability of each of the software is. Then you also need to consider how accessible will support be for that software. If the level of support or customer support that the vendor would offer you would be hampered, that may not be a good consideration for you. So that I've been able to go through the three major criteria or major principles that you must decide. One is the why. Why do you need the HR software? Then what are you looking for in the HR software? Then how do you go about narrowing down to the ones that would help you? Now, going through this three-pronged approach would ensure that you're able to choose the best or the most appropriate HR software for your type of business. Peradventure, you have questions to ask me. Remember, you can drop your comment or your question in the comment section of this video and we would engage ourselves further. Thank you and see you in the next episode.